This is Radio Khaji 90.4 FM. हम सबका रेडियो. I am Dr. Khushbu Rai, Assistant Professor at University Department of Commerce and Business Management of Ranchi University. Today, I am going to discuss on the topic whistleblowing policy and its importance in corporate governance as a part of syllabus for MCOM Semester 4. And under this, I'll include the various dimensions of the policy of whistleblowing in the governance mechanism of the corporations. As we know that our society has become so entrenched in doing wrong that corruption and violation has become the inherent part of the public and private life of the society. This issue is to be tackled by adopting best approach, which encourages and requires corporate to set up channels for blowing the whistle. In order to understand the concept of whistleblowing in relation to corporate governance, we must need to understand the term governance and corporate governance. The word governance means to rule or to steer. It is about steering a company in the right direction. Corporate governance means a system by which companies are managed and controlled. According to the former president of the World Bank, corporate governance is about promoting fairness, transparency, and accountability. Corporate governance, therefore, is a system by which organizations are directed and controlled. In the age of globalization, where economic motives precede over all virtues and tradition, protection of the larger public interest from great corporate scandals has become matter of great importance. Whistleblowing policy in this regard has been recognized as one of the basic features of corporate governance norms by most of the nations across the world. However, due to the lobbying of the Indian corporations, the whistleblowing policy, despite being a mandatory recommendation, was diluted and made non-mandatory provision. India has the largest number of listed companies in the world, and therefore, efficiency and well-being of the financial market is critical for the economy in particular and the society in general. According to the report published by India Forensic Consultancy Services, at least 1,200 companies listed on domestic stock exchanges have forged their financial results. This figure included 20 to 25 firms on benchmark of Sensex and Nifty indices. The study, called Early Warning Signals of Corporate Frauds, and it has alleged that such improper accounting included deferred revenue and inflating expenses. Satyam Computer scandal is just one example of such corporate fraud in which companies are indulging various types of scandals. Now, let us come to define the term whistleblowing. Whistleblowing can be defined in a number of ways. In simple words, whistleblowing involves the act of reporting wrongdoing within an organization to internal and external parties. Internal whistleblowing provides the reporting of the information to a source within the organization, and external whistleblowing occurs when the whistleblower takes the information outside the organization, such as to the media or to the regulators. Good governance signifies that it is in the interest of the organization or the economy to report anything wrong happening in it. This reporting of wrongdoing is not meant to cause harm to the organization. Rather, it is to facilitate the exposure of wrongful acts or omission of a person that is against the interest or values of the organization. Whistleblowing is an action that not only can aid in exposing organizations' illegal activities to the public, but can also give employers an opportunity to find out irregularities that occur in the workplace and try to rectify those mistakes beforehand. As for corporate governance, it can be regarded as a structure, a system, or a means that companies set up to monitor the operation of the business, to make firms' policies, and to achieve objectives of the organization more efficiently and successfully. Whistleblowing is one of the top mechanisms which are important for implementing better and effective corporate governance in any institution or organization. Whistleblowing advances good corporate governance, which is essential to a corporation's growth and development. This policy has been recognized as one of the basic features of corporate governance. As whistleblowing promotes good corporate governance, it is inviolable that a clear and specific procedure of whistleblowing should be established in each corporation's whistleblowing policy. Whistleblowing is an important tool to any organization's corporate governance strategy, as it empowers the employees to act on indices of misconduct and help to maintain a safe workplace while protecting profit and reputation of the company. Further, the whistleblowing is an essence of conscience keeping, and whistleblowers are the conscience keepers. A conscience keeper has an obligation to blow the whistle. That means to raise an alarm whenever he finds anything which is not at per standard of conscience occurs in the organization. Thus, in order to protect corporate conscience, it is necessary to protect the conscience keepers, that is, the whistleblowers. Whistleblowers are the person who blow the whistle. This topic will provide us an overview of how whistleblowing is related to good corporate governance, and it also highlights the importance of whistleblowing policy in the corporations and provide details of Indian legal provisions promoting whistleblowing policy in the corporations. Due to the efforts of the whistleblower, more and more corporate wrongdoings are being exposed around the world. Whistleblowers are the employees who exercise their free right of speech in order to confront organizational abuse of power or illegality or wrongdoing that is against the public interest. They can disclose the wrongdoing either internally or externally. Whistleblowing can be used as an avenue for maintaining and promoting integrity by speaking truthfully about what is right and what is wrong. It is an approach that combines many things. It asserts rights, protects interest, and influences justice. Every whistleblowing policy in every corporation should establish a clear and specific procedure, and it promotes good corporate governance, which is essential for the fundamental growth of the corporation. Directors of all types of businesses are forced to demonstrate a clear commitment to their legal and ethical duties in governing their business. Even the management and the staff have a duty to act responsibly, and they are also being held liable for the mismanagement. This is due to public focus and effort of media on corporate governance and the increased interest in whistleblowing. Effective whistleblowing is a key component of any business firm in order to challenge the inappropriate behavior at all levels of the organization. It is both an instrument in support of good governance and a manifestation of a more open organizational culture. Uncovering malpractices in corporations through whistleblowing often depends on the compliance of those who are aware of or suspecting misconduct to disclose it. Revealing such misconduct is generally recognized to be the significant value to the society, as it improves the openness, good governance, and transparency in the system. However, willingness of individual to declare misconduct is likely to depend upon the fact that how the system deals with and protects them when they disclose wrongful act. Potential whistleblowers must consider whether allegation will be taken seriously and the information treated confidentiality, and whether disclosure of information will provoke retaliation. The Companies Act under 2013 has made it mandatory for certain clauses of the companies to establish vigil mechanism for their directors and employees in order to report genuine concern in the recommended manner. Clause 49 of the SEBI listing agreement also lays down similar provision of non-compliance with these regulations that could lead to fine and penalties in case of wrongdoing happening in the organization. SEBI has formed a committee on June 2017 under the chairmanship of Mr. Uday Kotak, with an objective to enhance the standards of corporate governance of listed entities in India. The committee recommends that there should be a leniency mechanism that provides a leniency program and creates structural initiative for persons connected with the commission in infringement to come forward and disclose such violations and assist the regulatory authorities by receiving lenient treatment and protection against victimization. The committee that SEBI may be empowered to grant leniency and offer protection against victimization to whistleblowers in certain instances determined on a case-by-case basis. Any such power would have to be accompanied by rules and regulations in relation to the conditions satisfied for getting benefit under the leniency program and protection against victimization. The procedure for the lesser penalty or reduction in the liability, the quantum of penalties that are waived when lenient treatment is meted out, and protection of the whistleblowers. In a nutshell, we can say that availing the leniency provision in a situation of such corporate fraud or in case of whistleblowing is a situation for SEBI as well as for the whistleblowers.